Well, guys, we are only a few months from the NBA Finals, and with that comes the discussion of who is the most valuable player in the association. The front runners are Stephen Curry from Golden State, James Harden of Houston, Russell Westbrook from Oklahoma City, and of course, LeBron James in Cleveland. Guys, who's your favorite pick for MVP?
My favorite pick, I'm going with Russell Westbrook out of Oklahoma City because he's been playing lights-out basketball all season. He's came back from injury. He's done it big. The last 5 games they played, he's scored 40 points in 3 of those games, and he's had 3 triple-doubles. I'm talking about against Portland, he had 40 points. Against Philadelphia, he's 1 point shy away from 50. And then he scored 43 against the Bulls. Not only that, he scored 40 points in the All-Star game where they're playing against all superstars. I mean, this guy's taking the team off his back because Russell Westbrook has been out of the game, so he's been the front runner. He's been the face of the Thunder. So I'm going with Russell Westbrook on this one.
Listen, as great as a month as Russell Westbrook had in February, you know, Stephen Curry put him on a poster a couple times in the All-Star game. You know, just made him look silly. I'm saying Steph Curry, 24, 4, and 7. He's the best, one of the best shooters in the league. In my opinion, the best all-around basketball player in the league right now. Look at it. He's got handles that makes his head coach cringe. But you know what? When you can do the things he does, you just have to appreciate the talent you have and you enjoy him while he works.
And even his coach said about that shot right there, we're seeing that that was just one of those shots he felt comfortable with, and even Steve Kerr, whenever he said he said that's just a shot, that is an awful shot, but he's glad that he took it. I agree, Steph Curry's probably the best, but whenever you look at who's done just as good as either of those two is James Harden. With the Rockets, all of them can shoot. They're all really good, and all West teams, but James Harden, I think, will win the NBA MVP award. But while we're still on the NBA, who do you think is going to make it to the finals and possibly win the championship this year?
Well, I think, you know, anytime, you know, if Houston can get Dwight Howard back, I'm not really sure his status, but I think James Harden should win the Most Valuable Beard Award while we're on that topic. For me, out of the West, it's got to be, you know, the Golden State. You know, they're the best team in the association. And out of the East, I think it's going to be the Hawks. I don't expect them to have an easy road. I think a little competition from the Cavs, maybe the Bulls, but we'll see how that plays out.
I mean, going back to Steph Curry, the Clippers are still picking up the kneecaps and their ankles after all that crossing up that Steph Curry does. He can shoot the ball, cross them up, he's got dribbles, he's got everything. But for my pick, I'm going with the Hawks. They've already clinched the playoff spot. And out of the West, I'm going to go with either Golden State or Memphis. It depends on neck and neck right now. Whoever gets hot during the playoffs is going to be the team that comes out of the West. But I think right now, Hawks are playing lights out basketball. They're getting victories right now. They're 50-13. The next team that's right behind them is the Cavaliers, and they're 10 games behind them. So the Hawks are doing something really this year, and I think that they can make it through. I want to see what happens when you get a new team involved.
I agree, guys. One thing you brought up is Memphis. Nobody's really talking about Memphis. They are number 2 in the West, and the way they play basketball is they just grind out those wins. They play physical, tough basketball, and I think a lot of people are going to be overlooking Memphis as whenever they come into the playoffs, they're not going to be playing just, you know, that dinky, that three-point shooter outscoring you. They're going to play that physical, to the basket basketball. They're not going to let you get those rebounds, and they've got some pretty good shooters on their team as well. But I think Memphis probably is going to make it to the finals. And if the Hawks fall apart I think the Hawks will probably fall apart in the East Championship. And I think that it'll probably be the Cavaliers because LeBron James he's putting the team back on his back. You know, for the first half of the season, he said, "Okay, I'm going to let everybody else figure out what they need to do." But as the season has progressed, he has kind of figured out, kind of like Westbrook, and put the team on his back. And he's starting to get some help from the other people around him.
I think it's just that the Cleveland Cavaliers are gelling with them because it's like, okay, he has to learn a new system. He has new players around him. So, but I think that he has the experience of playing 4 straight NBA finals and winning 2 NBA titles, that he knows how to win the championship. And he's also, not only that he wants to win the title for these guys to get him to believe, but he also wants to win a title because this is his hometown and he's from Akron, Ohio. So he wants to win for Akron and Cleveland.
Listen, the thing about Memphis is it's a small market team. You don't hear a lot. You know, you're not in a West Coast, East Coast big time situation. Small market team. You know, other than Gasol, there's not a lot of really well-known players on that team. There's not quote unquote superstars on that team. It's just a team of guys that they know their role, they do their job, and they get the job done. With LeBron, I mean, that team's one of the, the talent on that team, they should be better. I think they should be leading the East. But, it takes time. We saw the same thing when he had the big three in Miami. It takes some time to get everybody, on the same page. And, I think they're clicking at the right time now. We'll have to see how that, goes into the season and the playoffs.
I agree completely, guys. But that is all the time we have for our first segment. So don't go anywhere. We still have a whole lot of sports coming up on Red Wolf Roundtable.